I was also struck by how much he wanted to contrast what he wanted to do in terms of foreign policy um, with Trump. And he really, went to town on that, I think, in terms of pointing out how he would treat Russia differently in particular. Biden, of course, is in a much tighter race by all accounts with his predecessor. And so he really strove to distinguish his policies from those of Donald Trump's. And one of the striking things Trump has said recently, of course, is that if NATO members don't, quote, pay up as though it's a country club or some where we all pay dues, which is of course not NATO, not how NATO works. That he would, quote, let Russia do whatever the hell they want in Europe. And so Biden raised that quite specifically. And if we care at all about a Europe whole and free, that is a good point for him to raise. And because one of Mr. Putin's main foreign policy goals in the last 10 to 12 years has been to try and disrupt a Europe whole and free. Not necessarily using hard power means using soft power, using sharp power, using money to try and promote populist far-right politicians, but even far-left politicians. The very pointed reference to one of Reagan's most infamous phrases from the Cold War was, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." That was the phrase that he invoked to contrast Reagan, the party of Reagan, with the party of Trump, the Republican Party today. And so I think that was also to appeal to sort of moderate Republicans, people who may have voted for Nikki Haley, who don't want to vote for Donald Trump, and independents, to remind them that, this is what your party was, standing up to Russia. And indeed, it is incredible actually to hear any American president say something like that. Our sort of national interest, regardless of political party, is to not have a war in Europe, because that very clearly affects us.